My hopes and dreams for the future are that I'd like to do archaeology and politics, because I've always been passionate about history and I find archaeology fascinating.
My aspiration is to help change health, education and social care services for the better, and to study philosophy at university, because I think it's essential that we look at the problems we face from alternative kind of viewpoints.
It's all about like self-acceptance. Like, I don't have to be like other people and how I look like compared to them. And anyone can actually accept themselves, even though they have sort of struggles, obstacles in life.
So my main aspirations in life is to find new opportunities to advocate for people with learning disabilities and neurodivergent people. I would really like to be able to speak to politicians in the future, to be able to work with them to find ways of getting new opportunities for neurodivergent people and people with learning disabilities, so that they can have equality of opportunity and achieve the potential that I know that they have.
I have been diagnosed with ADHD, dyslexia and dyspraxia, and the diagnosis really helps because once it's sort of, in the system and down on a bit of paper, I'm entitled to a lot of things that I wouldn't be otherwise, like additional help, which has really helped me going to the secondary school that I wanted to go to, which was fantastic. And just sort of the fact that staff know that can really just help with day-to-day stuff, and just knowing that other people went through the same thing as me, that just helps my mental health a lot.
I'm autistic, and I see this as my superpower, as it allows me to think in a unique way. However, it's not always been easy for me to describe my differences as this.
I've been diagnosed with autism, and it helps me to get to know who I really am, especially with my educational needs. Yeah, it can be a massive struggle, but, well, it doesn't stop me from pushing myself forward. And yeah, it helps my mental health and just build up my well-being and just become the person I am.
I have a diagnosis of Asperger's, which is a profile on the autism spectrum. Having a diagnosis for me has really helped me to understand more about myself and how my mind works.
I feel like healthcare professionals should take a very individualistic approach to sort of working with someone with neurodiversity, and sort of abandon the labels and like the preconceived notions around it, because how neurodiverse someone is very much a case-by-case basis.
I think it's essential that healthcare workers adapt all appointments for autistic people, in particular things like therapies, because that's what helps you access kind of society and the outside world. And I think it's essential that healthcare workers are able to communicate effectively, and you can do this by using means of kind of creative outlets. I think this will really benefit autistic people in the long run.
You need them to build their trust in you by doing something right, like giving some time and space and privacy. You need that.
Neurodivergent people know often what's best for them, but may need more time and support to be able to express that. In the past, not enough neurodivergent people have been given the opportunities to be able to advocate their needs, and they haven't felt listened to. This has led to some serious issues in the past, and also has led to premature deaths of autistic people. This needs to change. The health service should also focus on not the medical model, but rather the social model. The social model focuses more on what the individual can do and not what they can't do. The social model puts the person first and is person-centred and looks at the individual as a whole and does not try to cure them or change them, but rather make necessary reasonable adjustments to enable them to have equal opportunities.
I feel like the best way to help shorten the waiting list would be to encourage self-diagnosis. So say if the family has like a history of neurodiversity, it's probably safe to assume that you had it. And I feel like people should be able to self-identify as neurodiverse and have the same rights afforded to them as someone with an official diagnosis.
I think it's essential that while people are on the waiting list, they are receiving the support that they would receive after a diagnosis, because I think this will help prevent things like the mental health crisis that is amongst autistic people, because people's support needs will be being met from the earliest opportunity.
These long waiting lists, it feels like for these autistic people, it's like to like rejection, betrayal, and it's just bringing them shame.
If someone is presenting with a condition, even without a diagnosis, but it's obvious that it's affecting every aspect of their life, then they should be entitled to support that they need even before they have an official diagnosis.